Hello, everybody. This is Conquering History Games, and Kaiserreich has updated. Oh yeah, yeah, sabor. It's here. It's here. The Caribbeans. Let's turn this music up just a bit. Hello, everybody. Oh, so appropriate. I've been reading a lot about Cuba. Yeah, I just I was loading up Kaiserreich, and I had my headphones on, and god damn, shut the fuck up, Triple H. Can we all calm down, please? And yeah, I had my headphones on. I started hearing this music, and I didn't recognize it, and I'm thinking, where's that coming from? Do I have a tab open with a commercial playing or something? And then I open, and then I look over here, and it's out. It's out. Let's do a quick rundown on the updates. It's the Caribbean update. The American Civil War has received substantial further improvement with changes across the board. The player now has a choice between an anglicized or localized map per startup event. Focus trees have been added to Cuba, the Dominican Republic, the West Indies Federation. They've also reworked and expanded the focus trees of Bulgaria, the combined syndicates, the Pacific states, the Union State, and the United States. There's also more events for Bulgaria, the combined syndicates, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Germany, Asia, but the Pacific states, the American Union State, the United States, the West Indies Federation, although didn't they just come out with this, so there's really more events, but anyway, and there's been decisions added to the combined syndicates, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, the Pacific states, the Union State, the United States, and the West Indies Federation. Also a lot of new portraits, new flags, and such. Oh, they have a new flag for the total of CSA, but the old one was so cool with the wheat. Alright, I'm just gonna start timing people out. Alright. So, a lot of new songs for the people who do the music mod. A lot of other miscellaneous stuff like reorganizing the Irish tree, new ship list names, technology flavor. Haiti is still not done. Too bad. It's only part of Hispaniola work. A lot of various fixes as well. Alright, so. Wow, I was gonna play Guatemala just like on my own time. You know, wait, I forget. Does Guatemala have its own? It should have its own tree, but it's like I was just logging in to kind of check out Guatemala because I've been this whole last week I've been reading a lot about Guatemala and Cuba, and I thought I'm gonna play Guatemala. I'm not gonna play them right now, but I'm just double checking. They do have a tree, right? Whoops, that's Mexico. Stop it. All right, thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah, the naming and renaming. A static map. I'll take the classic endonyms on the fly renaming. So anyway, I'm just checking here. Ah, it does have its own. Excellent. All right, but we're not going to be playing as them, not as Guatemala today. How's everybody doing? I'm going to stream for like maybe an hour, maybe less. It's not going to be a long one. Hey Lucas, I've done 3. People don't like them. Everybody stop complaining, stop making requests now. The water's flat because of a graphics mod I use. Oh, what's happening to the stream health? It's because you guys are fucking around out there. Hold on a sec, I might just need to refresh something here. Huh. What is happening? What's happening to the stream? Oh my gosh. You know, I'm sorry, I was just also noticing some comments people are putting on YouTube. Because I don't know what's been happening lately, but there have been people who just are spamming a lot of my videos. Yeah, I know, guys, the lag. I don't know why it's happening suddenly. Something happened. Fuck, I was hearing some noise. What is this? The OBS is working. I think it's on YouTube's end. Okay, there you go. Actually, it looks good now. Alright, so give it like a minute, guys. Whoops. Having some issues over here on the second monitor. Just a minute. On the second monitor. There you go. Okay. Hey, William Blowers. No, don't. The Foster campaign's still going. Oh, boy. So, anyway. We're gonna play Cuba! Like, I'm probably gonna do a full-blown campaign with them. It's Trujillo over here, right? No, Trujillo. Interesting. Heh. Anyway, so, I'm going in blind right now. Let's just get to it. A mere 7 years since the overthrow of American-backed dictator Gerardo Machado, Cuba again teeters on the edge of political upheaval. The regime of young President Rafael Trejo has steadily lost control over the army, and the civilian government's political authority has all but completely eroded. As radicals both right and left threaten the country, the military may well take full control as soon as an opportunity presents itself. Okay, so let's just jump into it, see what we're dealing with. I remember the Cuba report, but I read it so long ago. You know, you guys are, my school semester has started. I can probably stream for a little bit today. Maybe I'll do a little bit more tomorrow as well. Of course, I would tell you guys right now, I'm not going to do a Kaiserreich 0.8.4 campaign, like proper. I'll do some live streams, but I'm not going to do a proper campaign until Man the Guns comes out. By the way, I just want to say, the Cuban flag is one of my favorite flags in the world. It's the, you know, it's a red, white, and blue classic motif. But like, maybe it's just because blue is my favorite color, and I don't think you see blue in a stripe format too often, so I just love it. It's great. Not my favorite flag, but it's up there. It's very up there. Castro. Fucking, how old would he be? How freaking old would Castro be in this? Yeah, way too young. Although, then again, for those of you who've freaking in the American, or I should call it the Southern Victory series, I think it's also called like Order 191 or something, written by Harry Turtledove. He does a lot of alternate history books. By the end of it, where he's kind of getting into the World War II years, he's just saying fuck it and throwing anybody and everybody in there. So like Puerto Rico, yeah, Puerto Rico's is great too because it's flipped. Puerto Rico's and Cuba's are both great. It works both ways with the colors. Anyway, yeah, timeline 191. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, but like Jimmy Carter is there, Ronald Reagan is there, and Fidel Castro, I believe, shows up on the beaches of Cuba in the scene. And shoot, it was so long ago that I read that book, but I think he was something like, he would have been 16 years old maybe when that was taking place or something. Anyway, so Kaiserreich team presents 0.8.4. Still alpha if you counter, yeah. Inform me about just the major events. And let's try the on-the-fly renaming. Ciudad de Guatemala. Alright. Let's see what we're dealing with here. First thing we gotta do is, of course, let's see, we're Social Democrats. Partial depression recovery is still 40%. They've partially alleviated the effects of the Great Depression. I don't know if Tricky Dick shows up in that book, but I know Nixon shows up in the, I think it's called Joseph Steele. It's another alternate history one, which it's basically if Stalin was in charge instead of FDR, because his parents had immigrated, so like he's raised in the United States. But yeah, Nixon's in that. Anyway, we're gonna. So we got 40% consumer good factories out of the gate. That's not good. We have limited conscription, pervasive. Excuse me. Pervasive American influence lowers my daily political power gain, more resources to market, more consumer good factories, target county trade cost minus 40% for the United States, extra trade to world overlord plus 25%. The United States is highly influential in Cuban society and politics, and the Americans closely observe and at times directly cause Cuban political developments. Any substantial change in the status quo is likely to provoke an American response. Okay. Then we've got mixed regime. The Cuban military holds a great deal of political power, including guaranteed congressional seats, and is nearly completely unbeholden to the civilian government. This increases our recruitable population factor, but lowers our daily political power gain. And this is a social democratic country? Hey, ego guy, I'm getting really sick of the joke, so I'm just gonna put you in timeout there. Okay, nice. We get 3 research slots. Well, let's take a look at what we got here. General election. It's going to happen later this year. Economic expansion. Oh, okay, there we go. I knew this couldn't be the whole tree. I thought, because I kind of got stuck for a second, so I thought, oh my gosh, is this the whole tree? No, there's more here. Foreign relations. Or probably after an election, I figure. I already went over what's new in the update. Go check the report. Okay, it's reorganized the military. Nice. We have infantry equipment 1. Let's get Marines, right? Okay. We're short on a lot of stuff. Working on artillery. Let's work a little bit on support equipment as well. I don't think I'm really gonna... Jesus, 2 divisions. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna do. Alright. Volume 1. I've been reading enough about Cuba for school. Alright. Cuba, A Brief History, Volume 1. Cuba, having gained independence only in 1902, is a young nation. While many in the United States seem almost certain that the island will one day become another U.S. state, Cubans hold their national identity close to their hearts. Throughout its first 25 years of self-rule, Cuba was plagued by political turmoil caused by American meddling in its internal affairs. On the 20th of September 1928, however, Cuban anger towards the increasingly dictatorial President Gerard Machado, as people racing up the street again, and his American puppet masters seemed to boil over. By morning the next day, Cuba had a new government comprised of moderates, nationalists, and socialists alike, and renewed hope for the future. Even when the leadership of this fleeting caretaker government was forced to appoint the young and inexperienced Rafael Trejo as president, Cubans remained cautiously optimistic this was not to last. The new regime, while resentful towards the United States, was forced to make concessions to the American-backed army to maintain power and nominal authority as it struggled to rein in the effects of the Great Depression. By 1935, the coalition of revolutionaries which had toppled Machado was on the verge of collapse, and on election day, tensions between supporters of the Authentic and socialist parties boiled over. In the aftermath of that infamous day, when the streets of Havana ran red, the socialists and Auténticos alike were expelled from Congress, and the moderates of the governing Unionist Party then found themselves the only true opposition to the Army's influence, with what remained of the old guard, supporters of the Liberal Party, and its more conservative allies more concerned with securing power than preserving Cuban democracy. New elections for both the Congress and the Office of Presidency are scheduled for the 28th of January 1936, And as that date looms, so too seemingly does the fate of Cuba. Interesting. All right, so pretty much the first focus will finish, and then we'll just let it go. If I could live in an Asian country in Kaiserreich, which would it be? Well, of course, it always depends on like what government takes charge. Like if I'm going to get drafted or something. Any Asian country. Asia's a big continent. It's the biggest. I'm trying to think if there's... Every Asian country. Oh! Okay, Emmett, guess what? You are banned! Congratulations. Setting land speed records for getting banned. I think that's the first time I've ever seen you comment. Limited military reorganization. The Cuban military, despite years of cooperation with American advisors, is not an effective fighting force, lacking for modern equipment and any central operational doctrine. While the administration and the army is well established and intertwined with internal politics and thus currently incapable of being reformed, the Air Corps, a large independent auxiliary section of the army, and the Navy should be much more easily affected. Which branch should be focused the reforms? Should be the focus of the reforms. The Navy or the Air... Oh, it's just... Doesn't really matter either way then, does it? I guess we'll do the Air Corps since it's just for experience. Oh, unless was that good? Does that trigger something? Ah, yeah, I did not. So yeah, now this means I can only work on this until later. Blackbeard, what's this? Ha, that's cool. I like that. Alright, so... Should we just wait a few days? No, because this is going to bypass, it says. So we'll do one more focus, but the election's going to happen in 6 days. Okay, military aviation played an important role in the Weltkrieg and 42 days. You know what? We're not going to take anything. Let's just wait and accumulate political power. Emmett was saying something extremely provocative and racist. Alright, anyway, back to what country would I play in Asia? What would it be in Asia? It's tough because there's... Oh, hold on a sec. Special general election. With the fall of Machado, the Cuban political landscape shifted dramatically. Machado's Liberal Party, to which the majority of Cuba's presidents belonged, and which was undoubtedly the most powerful political entity in the country, collapsed. Let me know if you guys can't hear me, by the way. Collapsed. Shortly before the ill-fated 1935 election cycle, the two largest successors to the Liberal Party, the Republican and New Liberal parties, entered in a coalition with the so-called Democratic Movement. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. No, Russia doesn't count. Even though it's mostly in Asia. Excuse me. Russia is pretty much its own subcontinent. Where was I? Democratic Movement of conservative ex-president Mario Garcia Menocal. Together, this coalition represents a legitimate challenge to the governing Unionist Party of Rafael Trejo. The American-backed military, which has grown increasingly influential in the nation's political scene, has endorsed the former Liberal Party Senate President Clemente Vasquez Bello as its presidential candidate, and many Cubans worry that the military may attempt to intimidate voters or otherwise extra-legally skew the results of the elections. Vasquez's relationship with the military is of itself complex, as despite the military's ties to the United States, it does strive to maintain total political independence, whereas Vasquez would seemingly be content to become little more than an American puppet. Necessity does indeed make strange bedfellows. Also, while many support the Auténticos or socialists, those organizations have been declared illegal and thus are barred from participating in the election. So that it's not an option. So we've got Social Democrats. You can have the New Liberals win, or Vasquez, the Army's man. So this is backed by the backed by the military. This is status quo. And then, who are the New Liberals backing again? Okay. Mario Garcia Menocal. It's a coalition. Interesting. let's look over here. Chaos and strikes. Okay, so I'm not seeing... Oh my gosh, this is a huge tree. So do we have to come all the way down here to New Cuba before I can work on my navy? Point Diaz. Chaos, order restored. March on Havana. Cuba for the Cubans. What's this coalition gonna do? Let's see if coalition just leads to them sitting on their hands, or if, you know what. So let's try coalition victory. All right, so we can't do Havana strike. New cabinet. Mixture of goodwill. Following the student revolution, the interim president offered key cabinet positions to members of the Liberal Party. Oops. This practice was continued after the last election. Should this new tradition be upheld, or should our highest ministers be drawn only from our own party? So, like, this changes the ministers, and it's a live stream, so I don't want to take the time right now to go through everybody. Let's just go with the Unity cabinet for now. We've already got... It's already a collection, right? If Che Guevara was what? Oh, there's a... What would they be? Well, they'd be very young. That's what they'd be. Alright, I guess we do have to... I guess I should have done the Air Corps expansion, after all. Guess I screwed that one up. So, somebody was saying they noticed some borders were changed here. Oh, the Dominion's fighting right now, but... Double dip recession. Yeah, it's getting worse. Less weekly stability, half of when a daily political power gain is lost, less stability overall. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it looks like there's some sort of syndicalist option for Cuba. Those of you bringing it up in the chat, looks like right here. Then you can do agrarianism or industrialization. Revolutionary ethos. That could be a fun role play, like create socialist Cuba early, like 20 years early. On the other hand, we could go swing to the far right or something. Havana general strike. In an attempt to capitalize on the turmoil brought on by renewed economic hardship, the socialist movement, officially outlawed following last year's election bloodbath, have emerged seemingly stronger than ever to stage protests throughout the city of Havana, accompanied by a general strike. The strike has paralyzed most of the city's major industries and sent the civilian government into panic. While so far socialist activity has been limited to Havana proper, it appears to be growing rapidly. If left unchecked, the strike and general chaos could very well consume the entire nation. The military, headed by General Diaz, have been hesitant to act, and without their support, suppressing the strike will undoubtedly prove difficult. Unfortunately, however, some opposition figures have expressed their willingness to end the strike in exchange for certain concessions from the government. For now, we can only wait and prepare to put an end to the strike one way or another. Horrid. So, once again, less weekly stability and less factory output and less stability overall. Gosh. Okay. Yeah, right, Nitro Game. People are having a shit fit out in the comments in the chat today. Everybody's losing their minds. All right, just about anything and everything. Everybody's hopped up on something. Dealing with the strike, as was feared, the turmoil in Havana has not dissipated. Indeed, it has only grown and even infected other major cities throughout the country. Worse yet, guerrillas under the command of socialist strongman Juan Baez Hernandez, long relegated to the mountainous jungles of the south, have begun to raid nearby villages. The syndicalist paramilitary organization Joven Cuba has likely resurfaced and begun a campaign of violence against government buildings and workers. While those elements in the military loyal to the civilian government have been critical in containing the chaos, Diaz and the majority of the army still refuse to act. While we can attempt to suppress the strike with what units we have available, that will likely prove insufficient and only serve to galvanize opposition. What should be done? We can publicly offer concessions for peace or attempt to suppress the strike, so that's where the split is, right? So if it is not immediately crushed, if it is immediately crushed. I'm just going to flip a coin for this. I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah, let's see. No, you see, you guys, there is a lot of... you guys probably can't see it, but there's a lot of people who have been posting in the chat. And I have certain filters in the chat to make sure against certain stuff. So, like, a lot of those things are getting popped up. Anyway, so, yeah. Yeah, guys, read the fucking rules. Alright, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get a coin toss. Alright, I'm back. So, we've got a 2016 nickel here. Heads. Heads will be concessions. Tails will suppress the strikes. Okay, I got heads. So much for tails never fails. So, we're going to offer concessions for peace. And, wait, didn't, wasn't it the other way? Anyway. National Protection Act. In the wake of the strike, Congress has narrowly... Wait a second. Wasn't it the other way? Will be bypassed if the Havana general strike is not immediately crushed. No. Didn't I have it do the other thing? So, in the wake of the strike, Congress has narrowly passed a bill suspending many civil liberties and empowering the executive to suppress opposition by any means necessary. Without a presidential signature, the bill will certainly not accrue the required legislative support to be enacted regardless. Excuse me? Wait, so like... So, President Cespedes has not formally indicated his intention. It is speculated that while he personally supports the bill, he fears the potential backlash in his breaking his earlier promises to the leaders of the strike. This isn't worth the paper it's written on. Sign it. Okay, I don't know what... Oh, okay, so emergency powers is this way, and this leads to me eventually suspending the Constitution, or we can appease them. Well, once again, let's just flip for it. So, we're gonna do heads for emergency powers, tails for appeasing strikers. Oh, shoot. Dropped the coin. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Oh, shoot, fell off the desk. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I got it. Alright, I'm gonna flip this piece of paper in the air. Here we go. That's tails. Alright, I got heads. So, this isn't worth the paper it's written on. So, we've appeased the strikers. Due to the promises made by the president to the more moderate leaders of the Havana general strike, the unrest in Havana was successfully contained by loyal elements of the military. Now we should make good on those promises. Oh, right, we're doing the Air Corps shit or stuff. You guys like the coin flip ASMR? Damn it, now my mic's slipping. What shit going on here? Okay. So begins the Arab War. Okay. Just nothing happening as far as my economy goes, and in terms of political power, I'm actually in negatives right now. Gallo seized control of Ecuador. Happens pretty often, I think. Alright, development scheme for the Air Corps. Small investment, big investment, Damn, that's nice. Oh, it's just for 200 days. Massive investment. So for a little over a year, we'll have a reduced fighter production cost. Either way, we're going to get... No, it's definitely not worth it. I'm in no position to build these planes. So small investment. And we'll still get the follow-up event. Let's... we can invest in domestic aircraft industry. I like that. Okay, so now we'll appease the strikers real quick. Gives me more political power gain, just a little bit. Yeah. Yes, it looks like I'm doing the democratic path, which I think is as far away it looks like it is from the communists as it could be. Russian Civil War, party time. Okay, Presidential Guard becomes available after addressing the issues of American tariff rules and labor programs. Okay, so let's work on that. Adjust the tariffs with the United States. First International Congress. Ooh, that's a new portrait, I think. Or at least not one I've seen before. Oh yeah, Collins has a new portrait. Let's check that out real quick. No hat. Oh, I can hear the bitching and moaning. Oh, it's like burning my ears already. Let's see here. Huang Qing. Wrong Jing? Xing? Or wrong Xing. I think. But anyway, this fight has broken out over here. Alright. Should get... Now, the United States is going to get that event about adjusting the tariffs. They've resisted tariff adjustment. Shockingly. They've refused our delegation's request to approve our lowering tariffs on non-American goods. Despite their resistance, we must lower tariffs anyway, lest another revolt break out. Surely the Americans will come to understand our position in time, so it's modifying things. We're going to get a little bit more political power gain. Double dip recession is followed up with an economic recovery. They like me less. They can get over it. Okay. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Is it even worth working on the industry at all? I can't even build anything. Oh, she's here it comes. Yeah, all the Collins shit. Just, look how they massacred my boy. Okay. Oh, the U.S. has a new foreign policy tree? Is that so? Oh, this looks cleaner. Defend America, defend America. We got to defend America. Voided or over. Peace at last. Americans sing trees of cooperations. It's a nice looking tree. Oh, right, yeah, the Asian country thing. Sorry, man, I'm not exactly prioritizing it because there's other stuff going on, but... I would say... Geez, everybody goes to war, huh? I was trying to think, like, is there any one country that doesn't go to war in Asia? No, I think they all do one way or the other. So... maybe Persia / Iran. Maybe somewhere in India. Just because that would be cool. Plus, there's so much population. What are the odds that I'd end up, drafted? You see, yeah, people are saying Germany, East Asia, but you gotta remember that's a big old target that they've got on their backs from attacks from Siam and Japan coming in. Nepal doesn't go to war. Nepal definitely goes to war. But yeah, that's a tough one. Alright, let's get working on that destroyer. No, I shouldn't. Let's do the convoy. Well, hell's bells, who could have predicted the Sauds would win? Some of you want to live in Transmir? Really? Okay. Yeah, Russia's moving fast. This is going to be a very strong Russia start. Yeah, they're... So I like about Civil War Russia. Like, it's kind of a pain in the butt war, but you can absorb Finland. You absorb Finland, you get army experience, you get a lot of the Caucasus, and you get a Lashor Da pretty much instantly. Well, not instantly, but you guys know what I'm saying. Ooh, Independence Day. This monumental date is remembered as our Independence Day. For this single day, our deeply divided people can set aside their differences and for a brief moment breathe a sigh of relief. Viva Cuba! Oh, some research to do up here. Let's get to it. Let's get down to it. Get down to it. All right. Need to... What do I need to do next here? Guess we just wait. It's actually really easy for Jabal Shamar to win in Arabia if it's played by a human. Go check out my guide for it. I show how to do it. It takes no time at all. Yeah, you could definitely get it done really quick. All right, we gonna invade anybody? I don't even know how we can. We're definitely not in a position to. Presidential Guard. It's gonna give army experience. And stability. While we intend to honor our promises to strike leaders, such disorder cannot be permitted going forward. To ensure that our government is never again threatened, we should establish a body dedicated to its safeguarding. Yeah, the AI just needs to watch my guides and you'd start seeing Jabal Shamar win a lot more. They'd win a ton. Hey, Ego Guy, do you mind defining your sentence for me? By it something being a total meme? What does that mean? I would really appreciate an explanation. If you've got one. Who do I think will win the U.S. election? Well, that's kind of a... Like, it's randomized, huh? Who's the guy with funny glasses for Kaiserreich now? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Oh, right, because the old Cuban guy had he had the black shades. He was living the ZZ Top song. Black cheap, or no, that's cheap sunglasses, isn't it? Cheap sunglasses. Let's see, what time is it? I'm not gonna stream for much longer, guys. It'd be super ironic. So is that... So meme is a synonym of ironic? Is what you're saying? Just waiting for something to happen now. Any changes to Huey Long? Otherwise I'm not playing. So what are you saying? You do not like how Huey Long is right now? Or that you do... Or maybe you're saying you do... like how Huey Long is right now, so you're hoping he didn't change. They didn't get changed. There goes the Union. So much for power in a union. Dumb socialists. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably play some Cuba tomorrow. I'm only playing for a little bit today. Because, like I said before, my plan was... I've been reading all day and doing stuff, and I gotta clean up some things around the apartment, and I just thought, before I do that, I think I'm gonna play some Guatemala, and then I found out that Cuba was set up. Combined arms or operational integrity. Let's do combined. Yeah, Bulgaria got changed. I already talked about at the beginning of the stream what's been switched up, but yeah, Bulgaria has been tweaked. Oh, also Ireland's supposed to have. I don't think they changed the tree, but they like reorganized it or something. I think this already looked this way. Oh, they moved this over here in the corner. I guess because Ireland never. I don't think I've ever seen. No, maybe once I've seen it, but the AI Ireland go radical socialist. I think maybe once. In fact, I'm trying to think if that is what happened, if the AI had done it or if they gotten puppeted. Fall of Moscow. It's gonna be a nice, thick Russia. The guard detains the president. Beyond the gilded halls of the Capitol building, nothing would seem to be amiss. But within the seat of our government, what began as a quiet day has turned into a nightmare as the president strode confidently to the podium before the gathered Congress to give a rather mundane speech on the finer points of fiscal policy. His pompous guard at his flanks, a shot rang out, and standing there at the back of the room stood General Diaz and the dozen or so guardsmen around the room suddenly turned on those they had sworn to protect. Diaz, it seemed, had retained enough influence in the army to subvert the guard's leadership in a matter of weeks. It is the next few hours, however, that are most critical to the future of our nation. Indeed, the president's own resolve and willingness to resist Diaz in the face of great personal harm will likely make or break the coup attempt. But isn't the guard turned on him, or I don't know. President is cowed. The junta becomes the ruling party, or the coup is broken up. This gets rid of the mixed regime and the presidential guard. Let's make a save file here. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Cuba. Guard. Detains. President. So we're going to say he's defiant and the coup is broken up. So Rafael Trejo becomes a minister of ours, the former guy. So the coalition grows ever more. And do we not have any commanders now? Oh my goodness. And we can't even get new ones because we can't afford the zero cost. Yes, El Presidente has been saved. Oh, cool. He has his bio here. So, Carlos de Cespedes, son of the Cuban independence hero of the same name, spent decades in politics and the Cuban diplomatic service. While ostensibly loyal to Machado during that pivotal tyrant's tenure, Cespedes secretly worked to undermine his regime, coordinating closely with other disaffected Liberal Party members. Soon after the Student Revolution, Cespedes returned to elected office with a stint in the Senate, where he founded the New Liberal Party to unite those former liberals. Now, as independents with the party's dissolution lacked any formal party association. As President Cespedes looks to return Cuba to the early days of the Zayas regime, without the alleged corruption, of course, with a consciousness for often overlooked social and political realities. All right, then. Okay, so what happens now? Working on the combined arms. So that must have opened a new path, right? Yes, we can call for new elections. It's been like, that's good. Yeah, let's call for new elections when it's been, this is the Caribbean doctor. Anyway, when the other elections just in January, it's kind of a quick turnaround. I guess we gotta live with it. Come on. There it is. Okay. With the crisis at an end and the democratic process now free of the influence of the military, many now demand that a new election for both the presidency and both houses of the Congress be called. By heeding these calls, we can at last truly become the democratic republic Martí dreamed of. No kidding. We try that, no hacks. It seems to work. Well, thank you. I learned something today. Yeah, so I had my Cold War Latin America class today, and it's a really group-heavy class. It's fucking enormous because it's cross-listed for undergrads and government students, and there's like criminal justice students in there, and so it's fucking enormous. There's like 35 people in there. And oh, these fucking government kids, the ones who like I should say like I minored in political studies, you know, government style stuff. But geez, these government kids, they just like to argue for the sake of it. And we were talking about the Rio Pact and like Latin American countries and the concept of if they should join international organizations or if they should try to just... This is during the Cold War, let me be clear. If they should join international organizations, create them, or if they should go to the United States as like Big Daddy for help. And these two guys started to argue in class and just fucking... Damn. It was like those kinds of arguments where, like, you know, we start talking about Latin America, and the next thing you know, they're talking about the fucking Aral Sea and, like, pollution and just... Yeah, it just turned into, like, the capitalism versus communism fight. And, you know, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you should be able to discuss these things, but it just started to totally derail the class. It's just... Yeah. So, new elections called. Against the odds, Cuban democracy has survived, albeit with its central figure, Rafael Trejo. Oh, actually, real quick, let me just finish the story. So one thing that was kind of funny, because it was dragging, and I looked at my watch, and I noticed that the class period was just about to end. And then somebody, oh, sure, Nitro Game, like, send it to me on through my Discord. Send it to me in a personal message. But anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so these two guys are arguing, and then a third person jumps in, and he brought up something that was like completely irrelevant even for what they were talking about. And he and you know what, I don't talk about my personal political beliefs on the channel, but like there's a few phrases when it comes to people talking politics that just annoy the shit out of me. Like even stuff that condemns Nazis. But like, for example, like I hate when the Nazis are portrayed as monsters. It's like, you know what? They were people too, and we need to not like turn them into these mythical alien creatures that committed these awful crimes. Like they were human beings too, and that's important to understand. Because like if we just turn them into this cartoonishly evil like organization, I just don't think that's good. But like another example, so it's like it really annoys me when like people like, dehumanize the Nazis in that sort of way. But also whenever I hear the phrase, it's like, you know, communism, the thing is, it just doesn't work, and they don't go anywhere from there. It's like, have you guys ever seen the hold on a sec, let me try to find this picture. Just getting it up in the second monitor. Yeah, it's like when people do this, is what I'm basically saying. It's like when you say both sides are idiots without any further opinion or explanation, just, oh, fuck yeah. You know? So it's like that kind of discussion is what I'm talking about. Anyway, so somebody jumps in, it's like, you know, okay, you want to say communism doesn't work? You got to elaborate, though. See, you know? And so this guy, he just jumps in and he's talking about something that's like completely irrelevant. And the guy just goes, well, you see, dude, I was... And then he kind of paused for a second. Wait, what am I arguing about? And he got like a big laugh out of the class because we were just so off the road. Just... Yeah. So, anyway, new elections have been called. I probably talked way too much, actually. What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to stop at like 15 till the top of the hour. So, New elections have been called. Against the odds, Cuban democracy has survived, albeit with its central figure, Rafael Trejo, no longer at the helm of the nation. Satisfied that his nation no longer needs him, the young Trejo announced not long after elections were called that he would not seek non-consecutive re-election and would retire from politics. So he was in the cabinet for what? A month? The professor? Well, here was the thing. Like, and usually, like, the professor didn't do anything because he actually wasn't there, because he came in at the start of the class and he was saying, and he basically said, guys, my assistant is going to, not assistant, my associate is, my assistant is going to lead the class because his son was sick. He's kind of having a rough semester because, like, his, it's like his son was sick and then he had to fly to Peru this last weekend because his dad's having some serious health issues. So yeah, he wasn't there today, unfortunately, except for to just pop in at the beginning and say, like, okay, this is what you guys are going to do today, and this is what we're going to do on Wednesday. I'm actually really looking forward to Thursday because he wrote a biography on this Peruvian leader, Aya de la Torre, and he's gonna be doing a lecture on that on Thursday. So we don't have to go for the class or anything, but I want to go. I want to hear him talk about it. So anyway, new elections called. Against the odds, Cuban democracy has survived, albeit with its central figure, Rafael Trejo. Oh yeah, I already read this. Manuel Bispi, despite rumors of his close association with the still forbidden socialist parties, has succeeded Trejo as leader of the Unionista party and will stand as its presidential candidate. All right. Yeah, so Trejo was like for a month in charge, or not in charge, but in the cabinet. So the freaking where was I? Flying tanks, huh? Ooh, experience gained daily and 15% ace generation chance. Yes, please. What was I saying? Oh yeah, speaking of my professor, so my professor, you can like look him up. Like, let me actually see if I can pull up his book if anybody's interested in it. Pursuit of Power. It's not really too long, you know. It's like 5 chapters. One way to think of it is like, it's kind of like 5 essays. Think of it that way, but it's called Aya de la Torre and the Pursuit of Power in 20th Century Peru and Latin America. So he assigns us this book that he wrote. And he freaking, I swear to God, well, he doesn't, like, so we spent a week reading it. It's like 300, it's like 300 pages-ish, maybe a little bit less. And he... somebody, I swear to God this is true, somebody raises their hand at some point during the class and says, hey, but like, what are your personal opinions on Ay de la Torre? And he was completely fucking serious. And it's like, he's like, dude, you just confessed that you didn't read the book, because he wrote a 300 fucking page book talking about how he feels about Ay de la Torre. All right, presidential election. Okay, so liberals take it, right? Because we're social liberal. Yeah, liberals take it. So that puts us up to 36%. Still kind of a minority rule, but it's a coalition government, right? Some type of oh right, yeah. I'll the name of the book. Aya de la Torre and the Pursuit of Power in Latin America. He was the founder of the Opera Party, where, you know, they would all dress up really fancily and they'd sing, going ho ho ho, you know, opera. You know, that was what they were famous for. Okay, what do we got here? Ooh, Olson's president of the U.S. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Can he hold on, though, or is he going to blow it? Is he going to trip over the finish line? It's not enough to just get elected. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I have a video discussing what graphic mods I use. Get my coastline secure. There goes Finland. And it's only November 22nd. Did they puppeted them? Didn't absorb it. Yeah, it's a big old Russia. No national focus. What are they up to? I know they went with Denikin's plan. Oh, when did they put stability changes on here? Instead of political power. Yeah, the military played on I de la Torre being allegedly gay. And the thing was, I was reading the book, and I was starting to wonder, like, okay, so was he gay? And then, as I kept reading about this guy's career, there's a... Oh, did they change that, George? Man, these fucking developers. I know they're trying to make the best game they can, but it's like... This is why I don't do guides on that shit. Like, I'm probably gonna institute a rule where, like, I don't do a guide until it's been 2 fixes later or something. Just cause, like, I know they have no obligation to me, but it's frustrating for me when I put out a guide and then it's just like immediately defunct. Oh yeah, so yeah, like, and so I started to wonder, like, was he gay? And then but as the more I read about the guy, I started to realize it doesn't really matter if he was gay or not, because just the fact that he was allegedly gay was a hugely important part of, like, his political career, but it doesn't actually matter if he was or not. So I don't know if he was. Okay, so wait a minute. What was I going to do? Belarus has a portrait change. I think I already looked at it. Yeah. Yeah, he looks better. He looks more German now, I think. You're saying they don't have a focus, but they should. Is something cutting off them from going down here? Because they did this already. You were not allowed to do this. But I saw them doing Denikin's plan. Okay. 8, huh? What time is it? Okay, well, that's we're going to wait a second. Oh, there it goes. You blew it, Olsen. You fucking blew it. Well, before the Civil War starts, I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow at some point, guys. I just thought this was a super spontaneous stream, just to show that 0.8 was out. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.